Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Monday, and we're at the 20th of November, 2023, 5:55 p.m. Central Time. Sorry I couldn't put out any of your videos for you this weekend on YouTube or the front of our website. My subscribers did get all their videos, the paid subscribers, but I couldn't do the free ones. Family, that people coming in for the Thanksgiving holiday, big event, and so on and so forth. My schedule is I'm doing them tonight, tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get them done on Wednesday night. I have my feelings that I may not be able to get them done for you. Certainly Thursday there'll be none, but I'll be back into the saddle on Friday. So I, like so many of us, this is the holiday season. This is my favorite holiday of the year, by the way. So we'll see how this all goes and see where it takes place. So I have been preaching to you that October 26th was the upward cycle, beginning of it, the seasonal trend in the S&P, which has worked 15 out of 15 times to the upside. Well, here we are on the 20th. We're 26 days later, and I think you'd agree. Now, the cycles did kick in on the Dow and the NASDAQ today. I won't tell you here what day they end. I'll just tell you that they kicked in. My subscribers, my paid subscribers, get all that from me. And yes, a lot of them have, I had some people writing today, hey, that thing worked out pretty neat for them. Energy markets. Okay, so we're watching the markets come back to the $82 mark. I think the 26th is the OPEC meeting. I cannot imagine that Saudi Arabia won't extend what they're doing, but they may want to put pressure on others to do some cuts to support this area. As I've told you over and over, they want to see the $80 supported. If this market can't support this, you're talking a $60 market on the downside. I didn't say it's not going to support this $80 level, but that's what you'd be flirting with if the market started to let go in terms of what we call price counts on our free offers. You know, one of the things we do at Linn is we have something called a price count. And after a trend sets in, and you can put certain areas you see on the chart, we teach you how to do it in our charting software, you get a count to certain areas. Well, it's very interesting because it gives you an idea of the what-if scenario. The dollar has gotten hit big, all right? This is a market that was just at 108. The market is now the 103 area for all purposes. As it's broken, it's given a rise into the stock market. I think it has. It has given support into the metal markets. The copper market's gotten a bid because China's woken up and said, yes, guess what? We do want to support the property market, and we're going to create a list of 50 companies. Those 50 will be a mixture of state-owned and some private, and we're going to make certain that they get the funding they need to do blah, blah, blah. So they are addressing the issue. In the bonds and notes, while it's a short week, because the auctions only go now through tomorrow and Wednesday, there's still a lot to be done. The unpopular 20 years note, bonds actually they'll call them, did go for an auction today. For decades it hadn't been done. Now it's back into vogue. And the markets did see the auction result, turn around and dropped yield again because the yield on the auction was, about a tenth lower than the forecast for it. So that was interesting to see in itself. Coffee market came alive. So when we look at the S&P, nothing grows to the sky. You're already up nearly 0.81%. You've come off this low here near the 4,100 level. I use one word now, caution. I know you're going to tell me it's just going to keep running. Okay, caution. Why? Because as I told you, you could take an inverted head and shoulder formation. Shoulder, shoulder, head. Difference, let's just call it 4,400 to 41. 4,700 would be about as far as I'd see this count going, which is right here. You're already at 45.64. It's one thing to want to buy a good break in the market, but if you reach up here, I'd use great caution if I were you. The trend remains up with the pattern of higher lows, higher highs. You can see that. You get into a stall pattern if you take out 45.0175 in terms of the uptrend. The market's not even challenging the 100-day average, which is a surprise to me, but it could lead to a very bullish situation, the Santa Claus rally period. Why do I say it? Because I can't get away from watching the galloping of the 18-day average towards the 100. You could get a bullish crossover. Once we had a crossover here, you see that, the market didn't look back. It just kept moving up. Could get another one that you have to be on the lookout for. On the other hand, you don't abandon your idea. Where's the Bollinger Band top? Right now it's coming in 46.50. So that's in that ballpark if you should get an oomph in the market to try to get there, which is 80 points from here. But if it did that, I would think that the smart money is going to take something off the table. And what has carried this whole thing? If you don't take my enhanced Bollinger Band course, shame on you. Now, I am going to have a Cyber Week special that starts in all this coming Friday. So it will start. You can take advantage, get these courses, in fact, in a way for free. You can get my outside day course, my full charting course, this. So look in your mailbox for everything. We'll start the mailings, and I'll be talking about it all here as well. So be ready for that. When we look at the NASDAQ, same thing, an embedded reading. Now today, as I said, was the day where the cycles kick in, and they're quite friendly. They're not as powerful as the S&P was, but they're not to be reckoned with either. In other words, they're very, very strong. Will we get the Tuesday reversal in front of a holiday? We were up very big today. It's not uncommon then that you get what's called a Tuesday reversal off big gains. Yale Hirsch talked about that in his Stock Trader's Almanac. I could see that. That could be a spot the traders look at to see if they can come in on certain ways. You do what you want to do. I'm just saying they could. You've got the enhanced Bollinger Band, the slow stochastics embedded here. And I keep talking that course. And that tells me that the micro mini's in good shape. But the market it's just being dragged along is still the Russell. As much as traders are telling you, no, we're going to cut rates, leadership is not taking over in the Russell. You notice that right away you don't have the embedded reading. You just have an overbought market in an uptrend with extremely stiff resistance waiting for it. 1850, the 100-day average to 1850, let's call it 1850, 390. The 200-day average. That's a big number. And then you combine it with the upper Bollinger Band at 1849.10. You've got your resistance zone in the market. In the 10-year notes, if the market can rally further, the market is fraught with resistance from this right here, these two combinations. You see them coming in right through there. I should have pulled this out a little so you can see the last digits, but you're already there. 2 days ago, you hit the 100-day average in the Bollinger Band. You sold off from that. You're not embedded. You're overbought. I know you'll tell me it's going to the moon. Enjoy your ride. I'm not going with you. In the dollar index, enough of a good thing. I'd be very cautious here that this market could at any point now give you the flip. Am I predicting it? No, I'm predicting that you're in that area. You're right here. You're already at the 100-day. You might get down to the 200-day average and the Bollinger Band in an oversold market. I think professional money will lift some shorts. That doesn't mean they won't put them out again, but I think they're about to lift them. And it's the flip-flop in the euro, which is now pushing the 110 area. Did we not just say that it could go to the 110? I know we did that here. And did we get to an embedded reading? You cannot count today, but you got to go to yesterday, Friday. Both numbers, I take that back. You can take Monday. Both numbers were over the 80 level. Let me come the right way here. Let's go back to Friday. Both over the 80 on Friday and both over the 80 on Thursday. So you have the embedded reading. I think what's going to happen here is on a good break, the trade's going to try to buy into the market, probably use what had been a resistance as a support zone to see if it'll hold for the marketplace. In the British pound, it's the same thing. No, it's overbought into a resistance zone. Momentum leads price. The way that I teach charting. It doesn't mean it does that every single time, but I would say 90% or more from my experience. just looking at charts over 4 decades. You know, do I have it in quantitative? I don't. But do I have it in experience? I do. And looking at it, that's what I often see. In Bitcoin, it might be time for you to be moving away from the November now and get yourself over to the December chart. All right, this goes off the board very shortly, and you're at a resistance point. Then we come to Brent versus WTI oil. Notice how the markets come back to that line in the sand, the 18-day moving average of closes. We then take a look at where the resistance is. Do you not see it? 18-day average, you were oversold, you got your bounce. The market got down the first time to the 200-day average and the Bollinger Band. Before that, I thought the support was going to come in here. It fell immediately in 24 hours to the lower support. And yeah, you were under it for 48 hours, so what? You've come back and you're challenging the 18-day average. But even if you get through it, you'd end up with a pattern of a lower low and at best a higher high. It's one thing to have some short covering, which we've had, but now the market's starting to get to the point in Brent especially where it's going to get the ministers together. And you know, these guys leak everything they do. So it's not like they go into a closed door session. They leak, they talk, their opinion, what's going to happen. The market's listening for every word right now. That'll carry the WTI with it, and it's the same pattern. Not quite. The 100-day average wasn't exactly lined up with the Bollinger Band. The 200 was. And again, you got under it for 2 days, and you came right back to that key number. In the heating oil, I mentioned to you that I thought that we had that tax selling. Do you remember me saying that? And when you got down to the 200 and the Bollinger Band, I actually said it back here. I said, I think that's enough on the short side of the market. Now we have to worry, what's the winter weather going to look like? We haven't had real winter demand. It hasn't been that cold yet, which is unusual. We're cutting now into just about December. We haven't had any measurable snow across the United States in the big cities yet. It will come. It always does. And last in the nat gas, are you going to embed even at these levels? So you cannot count the current number where you're at right now, but we can count Monday. Both numbers under 20. Both under 20. What about the day before? Not. Tomorrow's the key day in this. So markets often don't embed. They get into oversold areas and then they try to give you a bounce. Just be aware that that could be what takes place. So one of the things you might want to do, if I can't get it to come up, unfortunately, right now. One of the things that you might want to do is take advantage of what we've got in our free offers. All you need to do is go to our website at iraepstein.com. Free offers, the price counts, the free charting. By the way, our QT charting software, if you haven't had a trial of it, it is where you can do your own price counts. You can do them on the stock market. You can do them on the futures market. It's only in that product that we carry it. We do have a course that I put together on how to work with that. You might want to talk to one of my brokers at 866-973-2077, and the course is free. All right? Now, I'm going to be offering a Cyber Week special. It'll start on Friday. I'll talk about it more as we get there. Again, I know I'll be here tomorrow night. I don't know about Wednesday night, certainly not Thursday on Thanksgiving, but I will be back on Friday, and I will be doing my work at that point. Don't know if I'll do the morning subscriber video. Haven't made up my mind. I got to come in from out of town, which I will do, but I'll certainly be here for the weekend and get everything done normally. Just couldn't do it this weekend. And then I'm in the saddle until Christmas, and I'm here through Christmas into January, so you've got me for a bit. I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a good evening. I'll talk to you tomorrow.